It's Doodlebud here, and today we're doing a test. These private reserve infinity inks make a pretty bold claim that they can solve the nib dryout problem, even so well that you could leave a pen uncapped for 5 minutes, maybe longer, and the nib won't dry up. So we're going to test that. How long can we go? And do I finally have a fix for one of my most favorite pens, but is afflicted by chronic nib drying? So I love my fountain pens just the same as all of you do. But one of the most annoying things is you get your beautiful shiny pen out, a nice clean page of paper, pop the cap, you can see there's ink on the pen. You just checked the converter maybe a week ago, and you get ready for your best cursive, and you go to lay down a line, and nothing. Now, ensuring your fountain pen nib doesn't dry out is a critical thing when it comes to making a fountain pen, and there's lots of ways to solve it. And here's just a few sampling of pens that come at it from different angles. Here we got like a plastic style body. There's just a little neck here, and here there'll be a step. Those two surfaces mate, does a decent job of sealing it. Some pens add on a nice little gasket, and that seals it up, doesn't dry up. This one here is mega sealed. Like, this is the most sealed pen I've ever had. If you take the cap off, put it on, you'll even see a little condensation because it seals so well right away. You can do the same thing with metal pens. It's not just plastic. Here on this Gravitas Pocket Pen, for example, it's even got a bit of a conical shape to it. They have it in the cap as well. You put this pen on, spin it shut. It does a fantastic job. I've left this pen for over a month. Same thing with this metal pen, this Pocket Puma by Enso. And even this super cheap, I reference this pen all the time, but the $3 Staples Special, a Zebra pen, has this gorgeous little slip and seal cap that you can see on here. Just seals it. Really nice, very easy solution. This thing will be in the package for like over a year. You open it up from the store and it writes instantly. Some pens have their limits, like this Pilot Vanishing Point doesn't have a cap, so they do the best effort at sealing it. And I got to tell you, you can go, easily a week or more without writing the pen, and it seals up, and it's going to write instantly. But there are some pens where either they forgot the whole dry up issue, or they just didn't kind of care. I don't know which one, and there's no elegant fix to it. I mean, yes, I guess I could put some silicone on here, some silicone grease, but now I got greasy hands every time I use the pen. Or you could put like Teflon tape or something like that, but that's not really a great solution. And if it's a slip cap, well, you can't really do any of that stuff anyways. So in comes private reserve. So I got a couple of these infinity inks. These were sent to me by Bleskit, and I wanted to try them out. They sent another one. We'll put this one underneath as well, just for a color comparison, the neon blue. But these are the two big ones we're testing. So I got the turquoise and the infinity blue. And private reserve says you can even leave a pen uncapped for like over an hour, potentially hours. Leave it there, and it'll write right away. So I'm not going to make this an epic hour-long episode. I'll do some time lapse, but I'll give it, let's say, 30 minutes and just see. Now, I've had this ink, the infinity blue, inside this Montegrappa Elmo for a couple weeks, and it's been writing really well, and then I'll leave it for a week, and this thing, pop the cap, it writes instantly. I have not had any nib dryout problems since I've been using this, but let's push it a bit further and see how far we can take it. So I got my regular Rhodia paper now, and let's just do a quick writing sample so you can get an idea of the color. Now, to give you an idea of the color, just to compare against another ink, the closest one I have to this infinity blue is Diamine Oxford. Let me show you. So here's a bit of a close-up. It has that sort of like a denim-y blue type shade to it, but the Oxford blue, pretty close for a reference to infinity blue. Having a look at the Infinity Turquoise and the Private Reserve Neon Blue, they're actually fairly close to each other, very light blue turquoise style color. I did pick an ink as a reference that's sort of in between the two, and that's my Robert Oster Blue Water Ice. I'll do a quick sample and we'll compare. So having a closer look, you can see in the lighter shades of the blue water ice, it's pretty close to these two. This one's a little bit darker, obviously, but sort of in that ballpark, just a little bit lighter than the blue water ice. So now with the color reference out of the way, let's get down to business. Let's get out the timer. I'm going to set it to 30 minutes. I'm going to leave both pens uncapped, and I'll do a time lapse so you can see there's no trickery going on here. I'll set it up. I'll do a time lapse. We'll do like 30 minutes into 30 seconds, and then I'll pick the pens up and see if these things write after 30 minutes uncapped, which is totally unreasonable. I'll have a control. Let's put a couple controls as reference here. These ones seal up really well, but there's no way they're going to last 30 minutes, cap off, and then just write. Okay, so one by one, let's take off the caps. I'll show you that the pens, they do write, no problem. Okay, ink comes out just great, so we'll leave that one there. This one has, I think it's Diamine Sherwood or something like that. That's writing no problem. Does what it's, whoops, take the cap off, Doodlebud. There we go. This is the Infinity Blue. Okay, so they're all working, no problems. And finally the turquoise. Okay, we're gonna leave those there. I'll get a camera angle set up here. And we're gonna set this timer, and then I will start the time lapse. So while we watch this timer, I thought I'd just give a quick thank you to everyone who's been watching the channel. By the time you see this video, looks like I've just clicked over 10,000 subscribers. So that's really cool. I just did this channel because I was bored during COVID and still wanted to talk about pens, and in-person meetings just weren't happening. So this is way beyond anything I've thought. Just want to thank everyone who's been watching my videos, hitting subscribe, chatting with me in the comments. This has been an absolute blast. Well, now didn't that make for an exciting show? So let's try these out again here real quick. Here we go, the Gravitas, great pocket pen. Dry as a bone. Oh, we got a little smudge. Let's see here. Does come back to life after a little bit, so not too bad. Doable. Let's try out the Mahjong. This is the P136. That's really dry. Definitely will not come back. Okay, on to this pen. I absolutely love it, but I've hated it because the nib dries out. This is the Monte Grappa Elmo. Look at that, beautiful. And finally, my Diplomat Arrow. Pretty much right away. This is an extra fine nib, so that's interesting. It went pretty much right away, but then it started flowing. Now, for some folks watching this, they say, oh, I just keep a little glass of water, shot glass of water at my desk, and if I have a pen that's prone to drying out, you just dip it in and that gets it going. But that's a little bit much. Am I supposed to carry a little vial of water everywhere I go? What if I'm doing a client meeting, I'm at a Starbucks, I'm out and about, I'm in a classroom setting, and I pull my pen out, I'm supposed to go to the washroom, get a cup of water, dip my pen, then come back so I can start taking notes? That's a little bit ridiculous. So this is actually a really great solution, this Infinity ink. Now, you are limited to the colors. Go on the website there, take a look, check out Blesket. They sent it to me. And don't forget, if you do get something, DOODLEBUD22 saves you 10%. But wherever you're going, read up on the turquoise inks. There's all the different ink color samples. There's a really nice looking red and a cool looking purple. I think those are a bit of a winner as well. Is it a perfect solution? No. Perfect solution would be a perfect design, a proper design consideration out of the gate. Wasn't done. This is a phenomenal way to fix it. And also, for some of those other issues, if you don't like capping and uncapping the pens all the time in meetings, this is a winner, I think. So I gotta say, these inks here, these Infinity inks, really did a phenomenal job. And this one's a kind of a cool color as well, but especially that Infinity ink. I like these pens, but I do get frustrated by them. The nib dry out is just something to me, from a design standpoint, just irks me. But then from a usability standpoint, you pop the cap off and you just want to write, and then it can't, and then it's a big production, you get angry. So if you have any pens with that type of problem, or you might need something where you're going to leave the cap off for an extended period of time, give these a look. Thanks to Blesket again for sending those out. Thank you for watching my videos and hitting subscribe. And if you haven't, do it. Catch you next time.